Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Well, I'm back from Charlotte Hamfest. Had a great time. Got to meet a lot of cool people. A lot of people that you just kind of see at shows. Now look, I'm dating myself hugely here, but if any of you remember the Grateful Dead, it seemed like when you would go to a show and then maybe you'd go to another show, you'd see the same people. That's kind of how Hamfests are these days. You're going to run into the same guys and make some friends, which is really cool. Anyway, as you can see on the table, it was not a huge haul, but it was an interesting one. And I guess I'll start over here with the most unusual pick that I think I've ever picked up at a Hamfest. I do love vintage computers. You can see over here I've got an old Apple IIc monitor and my home-built computer, my ZX81 Timex Sinclair 1000, that I still use with a modernized device called the ZX-Band. And I've got some other stuff, a ZX80 over here. I just picked up this black and white monitor actually in town, which was kind of cool. And so I just love the old stuff, old Atari, stuff like that. This, I never was a fan or into Macintosh products. I had a Mac Plus once and used it for a while, but I found its non-expandability at the time compared to an IBM PC XT to be kind of weak. But this is a Mac Performa 6400 180. The reason I picked it up is because it was complete. Keyboard, mouse, main unit, and monitor with speakers built in, which is kind of cool. The other reason I picked it up is that this particular unit is a little bit more unique. It is a multimedia version. It has an analog TV tuner and AV inputs, which is really a rarity, I guess. It also came with a ton of software. Here's some of the software and manuals, but it came with a huge box of software and manuals. And so I picked this up, and I intend to play with this, make sure, like it boots, but the hard drive's been wiped, so I need to reinstall the OS. And I assume it's going to find some times to find drivers and software for video editing. But from my limited research here just in the last 24 hours, this was like a great video editing computer in 1995, 1996. So this was kind of top of the line. Other than that, again, with a little bit of computer stuff, 4 IDE hard drives. So not the more modern SATA drives or SD, solid state drives, but old IDE drives. And so some of these vintage computers, you'll come in with dead drives, and it's nice to have a couple of those floating around. He was asking $2 for those, and he literally gave them to me. He just didn't want to haul them home. This is kind of a cool thing. AM stereo realistic receiver. I really didn't know if I wanted it, but I do love AM radio, and this is an AM only tuner, and kind of a late in the life cycle of AM radios for that to be a case. But because it's AM stereo, I guess they decided to add this as an add-on for someone who was creating a stack, like a tape deck, record player, so on and so forth. Haven't had a chance to plug it in yet, but I understand these are quite rare and very cool. The same guy that I bought that from, I also picked up this. Nothing spectacular about this, but we talk about this on my channel quite a bit. Radio Shack, basic 23 channel radio, but with a mic and a power cord and the bracket. And so I got that because this is a great radio to give to somebody who may or may not be interested in starting out in CB. CB is the gateway to all other radio stuff as far as I'm concerned. And so this is cool. I'll probably pass that along to somebody, some young person, and hopefully they'll be inspired to get bigger into radio. This one, at first glance, you're like, wow, it's cool. It's a 23 channel sidebander, but it has been opened up and I assume it does not function. Still, I picked it up. I might be able to use it for parts. I might find another one someday. And so I got that. That was only $5, so that wasn't too big. It did come with a microphone, a realistic microphone from that era. I also got a power supply. So here's a funny story about power supplies. I went to a Silent Key auction and I picked up I think it was probably 12 power supplies, Radio Shack 19 amp power supplies. Had them for years. I use them all over the place. But I would give them away for people who wanted to have base stations. And I didn't realize it, but I gave away so many that I actually don't have any. And so I've got, my power supplies that I use for the radio gear I have up here. There's one for down in the house. There's one for the garage. Now there's one down at the bottom of the garage, and that's great. But I also use power supplies for my heat up here. I've got 2 diesel heaters. Those both run off of those power supplies. And I guess that was where all my power supplies disappeared to because I gave the rest of them away. So I didn't have one when I test radios in my eBay shack, which, if I'm getting ready to sell something, I like to power them up and test them out down there. I've got one of those little back of the unit radio antennas. And so I picked this up $5. He wasn't sure it worked, but for $5 I was willing to take that chance. 7 amps, so perfect for CB radio, and also for ham gear, honestly, as long as you're not going to transmit, you can just check to see if all the lights light up, that kind of stuff. Last thing I got, and I'm probably going to make a separate video on this one because it's too cool, mint condition. CB Citizens Band Radio Digest, including the all-new 40-channel information. This dates back to the late 70s. It is really nice, really complete information about setting radios up, information about radios, the different styles of radios. I mean, this was a very complete book. I'd never heard of it, never seen it. You know, I'm a big fan of the Big Dummy's Guide to CB Radio, and this was just kind of like something that apparently slipped under the radar over the years. So that's it. Like I said, not an incredibly large haul, but still an impressive pile of stuff, and a lot of cool stuff at that. But more importantly than that, I showed off in a separate video, but kind of in this video as well. We used this Bouge RV cart that's powered, and people were getting such a kick out of this thing. I think a lot of people will probably be going out and buying those after that, because while it was a little cumbersome to get around inside, there's a lot of outdoor Hamfests that I go to that this thing is just perfect for. You kind of roll around. And would you believe that all of this stuff came from my house all the way up to the studio, which is quite steep and kind of muddy this time of year, and it powered it up there. So I thought that was really cool. And I also just had a ton of awesome conversations with folks, and some of that will be, intertwined, I guess, in part one there. But a lot of people, we talked about pirate radio stations or micro broadcasting, community radio. Talked to people about, my farm, stuff like that, and got to meet folks who had watched videos but had never seen me in person. And I always love those conversations. I always get a kick out of people who feel like, well, I don't know if I want to bother them or whatnot. Please come over and say hi if you see me at these events. I'm here with my wife this time, but a lot of times I end up having to fly solo on these. I love to talk, man. If I'm busy, I'll let you know, but I'm hardly ever busy when it comes to being at these events. I'm here not just to find cool stuff like the rest of y'all, but to make those connections with you as well. I guess that'll do it. It's not a terribly long video, and it's not a terribly large pile of stuff, but it sure was a great time. Till next time, my friends, take care.